Crypto Nation and mining family, what is going on? What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of State of Economics 101. Yo. So if any of you guys are here from the crypto mindset reset that I was one of the spokespeople for the other day, if you were here from that, you're going to hear some more kind of recap of what I had discussed the other day. For everybody else, you're going to be hearing this for the first time. And then for those of you that came from the Crypto Mindset Reset Summit that you can see on Rice TV on Rumble, I think it should be over, but it should have been today and yesterday. I was on yesterday considering it was tax day, you know. The fine you pay every year for being productive. Yep. Or you can just say it's a National Slave Day pay. You know, every day that it's the day that everybody has agreed that they're going to pay their slave debt to the government. I mean, let's just be real. Yo, what is going on? Golden Wolf. We got Jason the Tiger Osborne with the FOs. We got Nick V in his house. What's up, Arc Crypto and Mining? What's going on? I'm here. I'm working on a PC simulator for all the game systems on the Optiplex 790s. Nice. I haven't heard anybody working on an Optiplex in a hot minute. Woo! Have you sent those power supplies yet? I'm just wondering. No pressure. Just wondering if you have sent them. I just want to make sure because then I got to be on the lookout at my PO box. So as you guys are all sliding on in here, certainly smash that lizardy like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You know what to do, guys. Yo, so let's go ahead and just dig right on into it. This is the State of Economics 101. This is kind of, I do a lot of research myself for anybody that's new here. I do a lot of research knowing what the world stage is. Why? Because the world stage affects all investable asset classes. There is nothing that's uncorrelated. You know, a bad policy gets put over here, this stock shoots up. Bad policy gets put over here, this other stock drops. Bad policy gets put over here, gold goes through the roof. Another bad policy and gold and silver dip. You know, so I mean, it's like it depends on what the world economics is really going to be doing. Is going to be playing in directly on your finances, you know, your ability to save money, because they're printing money faster than we can earn it. The government outpaces us by far. I'm sorry, but I don't know anybody here who's, you know, consistently earning 7% more every day. I'm just saying. What's up, the Goblin dude? He's like, why is Bitcoin almost to 28K? Yo. So that has a lot to do with a whole gambit of things. You know, it's like if you're wanting to know why Bitcoin's dipping, well, I kind of was sitting there telling you guys last week that we're due for a pullback. I was sitting there telling it to you. It's like we've had a nice little run up. We need a healthy pullback. Again, let's just go ahead and dive right on into it like this, guys. Bam. If you guys haven't checked this out, this is TradingView. It's free. My DCA oscillator, not free, but it's a tool that I use, and I like sharing the knowledge of this tool with you guys. So, as we've been seeing since about the 9th, about the 9th, we've been seeing this run up. We had a little pullback after a small little run up. We're having this run up again. Now, hopefully, now this is my hope, that we don't head and shoulders on this, guys. Head and shoulders are not good for the market. And what I mean by that is that this comes down, comes up, right? So there's your head and shoulders. You want to know what the market's going to be doing? A lot of people say look left, right? If you look left, That's right here. That's left, guys. So, let's see here. We look at it like this. Go back to that. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Oh, why didn't you stay like I wanted you to? So, if we basically take that. Oh man, it's not going to stay. I don't always use the tools on here like this, so I forget how to do it. Like, I'll remember how to do it probably right after I get off the stream. So, but anyway, I mean, we're going to be looking at, I can do it this way. This would probably be my easiest way of doing this. I can come down just like this. So, now I can move it. So this is basically, I'm trying to get like a good approximation here. Bam. So if we look at that, and we could take a potential drawdown right back to our support line. If it head and shoulders, this is a very common play out for a head and shoulder event. Depends on how you want to take your snapshot. Now, I think this would be your worst case scenario. We come back down to the $24,000 to $25,000 range. That would be the absolute like worst case scenario on this. Now, if I were to sit there and say best case scenario, best case scenario, if we head and shoulders, will be probably between the $26,000 and $25,000 range. If we do best case scenario for a head and shoulders. So that is a potential, guys. Now, best case scenario would be we do the same thing we did. If you look left, we'd play it out the same way, which is what? 1, 2, 3, a break, 4, 5, 6. So tomorrow has to be a break, basically a sideways trading candle, a couple of more days down, and then we pop back up to the upside. So, I mean, it depends on how you want to look at looking left. So are we going like this and then another rollover like that? And if that's the case, you know, we're probably looking at like a $31,000, $32,000 Bitcoin. But it'll have a low side of, you know, definitely into that almost $28,000 range. We have a potential of dipping back, but you don't want to sit there and have a skyrocketing Bitcoin going straight up. We like to call those bubbles. Bubbles pop, and they pop harder than they go up. As fast as they go up, they usually have about an 80 to an 85% retracement from a quick pop. So everybody, just be calm, be casual, stack sats and hodl. This is like sitting there and the Satoshi gods are sitting here going, we will give the righteous a coupon. Right? I'm just saying, you could be all sitting there and looking at it as, hey, nothing changed with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's now giving you a coupon to go buy more. Not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, it's like having a coupon. If you're going to buy some anyway, wouldn't you want a coupon? I'm just saying. Just saying. I mean, that's just how my brain looks at it in the overall. Now, going into what the rest of the markets are doing, guys. Bam. So S&P 500 trading sideways, NASDAQ trading sideways, Dow Jones Industrial Average trading sideways, the Russell 2000 trading a little positive, but for the most part still sideways. And the Russell 2000, that's where MicroStrategy is with Michael Saylor, and you've got ARK Investment with Kathy Woods. These are two hedge funds hedge fund managers that are big Bitcoin bulls in the traditional market and have a great understanding of what they're talking about when they can. It's like they are the bridge to the wealthy investors. So it's good to see that we have some people in the right places teaching Bitcoin at the corporate level. And that's also in the Russell 2000. I believe Grayscale's also in there too. Stocks, how are they doing today? AMD has stopped falling. AMD is finally trading sideways. Apple's having a decent day at almost 0.75%. Amazon's up almost 2%. Tesla still taking its little nosedive. Tesla, since Elon Musk has gone toe to toe with the liberals and the Democrats and the government, everything he has been kind of losing value a little bit here. Netflix Go Woke, Go Broke initiative is still working just great for them. They're at a little over 3% down. Meta trading, down 1%. Not bad from that aspect of what it is that Meta is offering the world. So if companies because they are reliant on other companies to do marketing, if other companies do bad, Meta should also do bad with it. It's a no-brainer with that. If you watch, their big advertisers on their platform, and the first place that companies are going to cut budget is an advertisement. They're going to go advertisement and then manpower. The last thing anybody wants to see is manpower. So Meta should suffer if companies are having a cutback in advertisements. It's another reason why I don't like to invest into a company like Meta, into a company like, even going into any of the social media brands. If you're going to be looking at them as a stock, be aware that they are reliant on other companies to make money. So they don't have a viable product outside of the advertisers advertising to you because you're the product. So they can have all the users on the planet. If they've got no advertisement, their stock falls. That's just how it goes with Meta. Big reason why I'd say that's a no-go for. Hey, what up, D-Mining? What's up, my dude? What's up? It's like for your piece of the pie. Yeah, I mean, it's like unless they were doing like sharing of profits with the user base, I just don't see them like being able to sustain this, without just hitting a point where it just trades out sideways. And I think that's where a lot of these social media platforms have gotten. They've gotten so big, I don't know if they can really grow any further than where they're at, period. Facebook's been around for a hot minute. It's not the new thing anymore. It's just a lot of people use it. If something else really fresh comes about, it's going to push Facebook off to the side. All of that. That's why I don't touch stuff that is so reliant on that. We got crypto here. Crypto market cap is down 4.5%, guys. We're still trading over $1.1 trillion. We're still over $1 trillion. We're still doing better. The market in the whole is doing better than 99% of the stocks out there. So keep that in mind too. Bitcoin down almost 4% on the day. Ethereum down 6.21%. So Ethereum is down double what Bitcoin is because they have more room to drop down because they're releasing funds now. This is what I was sitting there telling people, like, while Bitcoin was up and Ethereum was over $2,000, I was telling people, I'm like, this might be the event that you want to sit there and kind of, I don't care if you believe in Ethereum or not, pull your money out of Ethereum and sit it off to the side. Now we're trading below $2,000 and it has lost it's lost double what Bitcoin has in its relationship to its own market caps. So just kind of keep that in mind. Bitcoin dominance is going up. And remember that as Bitcoin dominance goes up, altcoin dominance goes down. So you're going to see stuff like Tether and Bitcoin have a market dominance while all the altcoins take a bloodbath. The higher the dominance of Bitcoin, the more that Bitcoin price moves. So it's like whenever you have that low ratio where when it's altcoin season, Bitcoin kind of trades out sideways. When Bitcoin's dominant goes up, we see that big movement. Now, you can see Bitcoin dominance go up in a bear market, of course, because people are going to get out of the riskier assets and go into something that's not so risky. So you're going to see people coming out of altcoins as the price drops, of course, and they're going to go into Tether. They're going to go into Bitcoin or another stable coin that they trust. And that's where they're going to be sitting out waiting to storm out until the market starts to rebound, and then they deploy their capital back in. And last week, I was sitting there saying, so if anybody had taken what I might have done if I had Ethereum and done it for their own playbook, congratulations, you did pretty good for yourself. Everybody else, you're not going to catch the height, but you can sit there and at least protect yourself from, because in about 5 days or so, we're going to see a lot of Ethereum getting sold. Because why? Because we're seeing people that they've basically unlocked the rewards off the staking. So now we're going to be seeing anywhere from the next, it'll be like, what is it, 5 days? Or no, it's 3 days. Sorry, 3 days. And we should see the first bit of the rewards actually being able to move on the chain. And then in a few months, we'll see people unstaking. So just kind of know that we're looking at a cascade of events coming up right now. And Gary Gensler cannot answer if Ethereum is a security or not. Think about that. Gary Gensler refused to sit there and answer a simple question. Does Ethereum pass the Howey test or not? Bitcoin does not. Bitcoin doesn't pass the Howey test. That's why it's not a security. People are going to be drilling that one because Gary Gensler said that it's not a security. Wait until he flips on that one. When he gets pressured enough, he's got to sit there and make the ruling. You got to apply the rules equally to everything. And that may influence the price of Bitcoin if it's ruled as a security and cannot be offered to the general public. Dun, dun, dun. They give your personal data out to third parties. You know it. You use any of those social medias, your data is everywhere. That's why I always give out. I never give out like actual data of mine for social medias. Nope. You've got the Forex. I tell people to stay the hell out of it. This is where money goes and dies. This is trading your dollars against other people's dollars. Not worth it. It's all money printing. Futures, this is basically paper gold, paper silver, futures on crude oil. Like you're paying for what the price is going to be in the future. And then you got to you have to actually purchase it. In some cases, not all cases. Futures on oil, usually if you hold on to the futures contract by the end of term, you've actually got to take hold of the barrels of oil. I'm not sure exactly how that works I've never actually played with the futures market directly. I watched other people trade in and out of it, so I've never seen anybody hold until the end of a contract. So I know with the oil contracts that if you were a holder at the end of the contract, and that's some of the reasons why during the pandemic they were actually paying you. I could, if I would have picked up one share of future, one of these shares, I could have sat there and they would have paid me at the end of the contract something like $400 to basically take it, because yeah, they couldn't get rid of it. Well, actually, it was probably less than that, but you get what I'm talking about. They were paying people to take the contract over, because it was like once the contract matured, you had to take hold of it. It's divided amongst those who claim, "Yo, what up, rude, my dude." Yeah, and it's exactly it's whoever's but I could have sat there and purchased a whole contract. The whole contract, they would have paid me to take it off their hands. And it's something like 56 barrels of crude oil or something like that. So, yeah, wild stuff, man. It's interesting to play with the futures market. I've just never played in it. I just know this is where money goes to die. A lot of people lose money on futures because they're trying to get out of the contract by any means necessary. Bonds, I tell people to not get into bonds because you're buying debt. But as we can see with everything that the United States is doing, our 10-year bond is now yielding a negative 11%. So if you're holding on to a 10-year U.S. Treasury here, I didn't have the screen up. If you're holding on to a 10-year U.S. Treasury here, you're losing money by holding on to it. Guess who are the number one holders of these 10-year Treasury bonds? Dun, dun, dun. If you would have named the banks, you would have been correct. So these banks have these U.S. bonds. Gary Gensler wants to blame crypto on all of this. Janet Yellen wants to blame crypto on all of this, right? This right here is the flipping problem. The U.S. 10-year Treasury is yielding less money than it did yesterday. This is not how, if a bank needs to sit there and liquidate one of these bonds so that they can have the cash to be able to cover depositors, they now are losing money in comparison to the loans that they have out. So their interest rates at the bank are at 5%. They loaned out money at 3%. And now their bonds are losing them money. This is a disaster. All it takes is a group of people to demand their money out of the banks, and these banks are screwed. And they absolutely know it. How Facebook users can apply for a part of 725 million. Yeah. I wish that it's like users could apply for a part of that. That'd be amazing. That would be an interesting thing if they would like profit share it like that, but it'll never happen. So getting into some of these other bonds, it's like Japan has yield control. So Japan's government controls the price of their 10-year Treasury, and they dictate what they pay out. The UK back into quantitative easing. Now their percentages are up because they're printing money. India trading out sideways, but their economy is on the brink of collapse. So yeah, I mean we're going to be sitting there. It's like 6 hours ago, Facebook users who maintained an account between May 2007 to December can submit a claim for their share. I haven't been on there in 13 years. My account's still there, but I haven't. It's not. It hasn't been there hasn't been an active post in 13 years. Ever since they decided to say that they had full control of my data, and I was like, "The hell you do." All right, and then moving on to this stuff here. Of course, with Bitcoin dropping in that price range, we should be seeing, of course, the bloodbath. Yes, there'll be a few things here and there. Stable coins should not be really moving. They should be flatlining. Tether should be like flatlining. Same thing here. It's pegged to $1. Let's be real. It's nothing interesting here. But everything is having its pullback. Here's another stable coin. BitTorrent's having a rip, but it'll pull back here. Anytime you see something with a 0.0000000, somebody with $100 can move the price up 22%, dude. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, but everything should be in the shitter right now. Gemini dollar, there's Gemini stable coin should be doing fine, and it is. Trading at a little bit of a premium because people are piling in faster than they can let supply out. If you had purchased Gemini dollar whenever everybody piled out and got back into Bitcoin, it would have gone down a little bit. You would have traded around like 99 cents or 98 cents. You could have bought then, but you're trading on pennies, guys. Some people it's worth it to them, not me. I'm not into all of that. Engine coin, this was kind of a cool little project, but never really got any traction. I'm surprised it's even on the top 100 here. India, I heard something else. Oh no, their banks are like in horrible disarray. I don't know the full detail for what they're talking about in the news scene, but you talk to the people that deal directly into the finances, and the government's propping up the market right now in India. That's why they're not going to be able to prop it up for much longer. It's going to rip the other way. They don't have I mean, it could always be wrong. I mean, the government could sit there and inject enough money into this and have help from other countries to get them going. But I have a feeling that they're not going to be it's like once some of these banks start blowing up, I mean, we were only seeing the very peak of the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg on this. As soon as we hit that event horizon, you're going to see which countries are really just running too much debt. Way too much debt. India doesn't have enough economics going on in there, unfortunately, and there's good people that come out of India too. But there's a reason why a lot of the Indians, people from India, try to come to America because there's just more opportunity for them out here. I mean, if you actually watch there's areas where there's a lot of concentrated wealth, but it's not everywhere. Yeah, and that's why that's why I was saying if other countries come in and inject some money into it, that'll be the difference. But they're from the banking side of it, they're having issues. I mean, I'm not putting it out that, with the whole BRICS agreement, that they won't try to help stabilize the economy. Because what it is if they try to de-dollarize too quickly, it'll destabilize the Indian economy, and another country would have to come in and help. Have to. So we'll see how the whole BRICS things works out. I'm not discounting it. I'm just saying from the banking side, their banks have more bonds on their balance sheets than the U.S. banks have on theirs. Put that in perspective. And remember, bonds are nothing but monetized debt. And then, of course, coming into my favorite website here, usdebtclock.org. If you guys have never seen this before, it's a free website. It's just a counter of everything on here. So it don't matter if you were a working person, if you don't even have to have a job. You have a kid. How old is your kid? Already owes $94,701. Can you see why they want an open border? Get more tax-paying people here. Why? Because the debt load per person that's a working class citizen, that is a taxable income, gets spread out between more people. Democrats aren't really having the Democrats have less kids. Conservatives have more kids. But as a whole, the country is, the U.S. Population, for its base population, has started to slow down its growth. People overall are having less kids. And that is putting a little bit of a strain on the system from the way that they calculate it, right? They don't want a whole bunch of people in here, but at the same time, they want a whole bunch of people in here because the more people that are here, if they can get that debt per taxpayer down to, let's say, $200,000 per person, that means that the government can now probably grow about another 15% in size. That's how they're going to look at it. I know, it's crazy. And that's how they're basically packaging up the debt to the world is, oh, we have it, you know. That's not a problem. Like that guy was talking about stuff in the 80s and 90s that we are seeing today. Yes. It's like feature... I know, it's crazy. I know, in the future, it'll be 100% tax because we'll be slaves and own nothing. You know, it's like, this is what they're wanting us to do. You know, it's like, and if you look at the average revenue per citizen, I don't know who they're getting this from. I hate how they group this in because they group this in with the ultra rich, with the lower and bottom class. So the average revenue per citizen is a little over $13,000. You take it out for the base person, for the lowest common denominators that are taxpayers, they're putting in $100, $200 into the pot. A lot of this stuff is people who are paying, you know, $75,000 in taxes. And it averages out between the lowest common denominator with the most wealthiest person. And then you start looking at the state side of it. You know, the average citizen per state owes like almost $4,000 in taxes. I don't know about you, but I don't make a whole lot of money, and I got money back from the state. I got money back from the from the federal from the government itself, you know. So I don't see how this is very sustainable. If they're, oh, we taxed you this and we're going to give this back to you now. At some point in time, it's just going to be to the point where they can't do anything more than just continuously print money. The government's already half broke, guys. They're already talking about here going back into in voting for another debt ceiling increase. We just increased the debt ceiling in December with this omnibus bill that put millions into Ukraine for a war so that we can fight Russia. Let's be real about it. It's us fighting Russia. We have troops in there. We're spending taxpayer dollars that doesn't help anybody here in the United States do anything. It's like wasted money. War costs the people money, big time, because of inflation, because of money printing, because that's the only way that they can fund it. The government is broke. It's been broke since day one. They rely on the citizens to pay them, forcibly pay them, in order to survive. And here they are going to war with another country because we want to be the energy provider. It's like, and then them sitting there and cutting our energy, making our energy prices go up. It makes this even worse. Way worse. There is no way that we are going to dig out of a hole if we keep on sitting there and adding to this. It's just ludicrous in my opinion. We are putting billions out. We're bankrupt. That's the that is the great reset, bro. Think about it, Jason. That's the great reset that Carl Schwab talks about in his book. Is that all the governments just going reset. And there's no way that any country will ever do that. Argentina has declared bankruptcy 4 times in my lifetime. Since the 80s. 4 times. The Argentina peso has collapsed because they've got crooked politicians. Now we have it here in the United States. Those same style crooked politicians are in Congress defrauding all of America. And what do they want to do next? Take your guns. I'm just saying, because what they're going to do next, you might want to, I've been calling it the USSA. I'm just saying. Our government is slowly turning communism. They decided to go, oh, Bernie Sanders with your socialism. We're going for communism this time. We're going to go full out. What up, Automatic Beats? What's up? We got Automatic Beats in his house. So, I mean, we are now seeing the end game of what bad politics are going to be bringing us. And I think we're going to be seeing it in our lifetime. There are a lot of economic people that are way smarter than me that are all, like I've been saying for weeks now, been sitting there waving red flags, ringing the alarm bell. So we need to make sure that we have gold, silver, and Bitcoin, guys. I'm just saying. It's all about that gold, silver, and that sweet bizzity Bitcoin. Because anything else is not going to sit there and have that potential wealth transfer and holding your wealth. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin, they'll have their value here. It's just going to take more of your dollars to get one. That's what's going on. We are watching in real time the devaluation of the US dollar on a grand scale. There was a Berkeley study on socialism. Always turns to communism. Yes, always. Socialism is communism's little brother. And once socialism comes in, communism comes in right afterwards. And people got to realize we already have socialism. It's already here. We have universal basic income for the wealthy. We've bailed them out. We've been bailing them out. We'll continue bailing them out. So they can't do any bad bets. So these ultra wealthy remain wealthy and never lose their power. So they're on socialized income. Then you have Social Security. That's another social program. We have they've been trying to do socialized medicine. We already have a socialized police force. We have our centralized banking system. Central planning. That's communism. We have the college institutions. Centralized education. That's more communism, and they are openly teaching Marxism, and they are basically training the next allegiance of Marxisms. It's like, it blows my mind that these people think, oh, communism has never been done before, because it hasn't been done globally. It don't work on a small scale. It ain't going to work on a big scale. People need to realize that you go communism, that means everybody's the same. So if I'm a really hardworking person and there's a lazy bum, that lazy bum's going to get paid as much as me. So why should I work hard if the bum gets paid as much as I do? And then you start seeing that the hard workers start not working so hard. Innovation starts coming down. Quality of life overall comes down. And who did they start squeezing on from that point forward? The very people they disenfranchised. Me and you. That's just how it works when you start going into the socialism and communism phase of a dying economy and a dying empire. They all kind of go down that rabbit hole before somebody stands up and things start slowly getting better. They still haven't come out with the stuff for the barrels of oil yet, so I'm hoping end of this month, I'm thinking, is when they sit there and they report for the crude oil reserves that we have in the United States, if they're still depleting it, or if they actually started laying off on there, and that's the reason why we're starting to see the higher oil prices. I'm curious to see that since the Saudis have pulled back the amount of crude oil that they're pulling out of the ground per day, that our energy should start getting more expensive, especially for the price of travel. The electric vehicles are not going to be the answer. You're not going to be able to fix anything with the electric vehicles. You get less range on them. You get less overall usability, more reliance on China, and the overall emissions output from a person generating is nominal. You're talking about a 2% emissions rate change if everybody were to switch over to EV right now. Sorry, not going to work. So them sitting there depleting this crude oil base of ours is going to be horrible, especially if we are getting prepared to not only fight Russia, or we're already fighting Russia, but we're going to get prepared to fight China too. We don't even have enough. We don't even have a year's worth of oil for the military. What do you think that's going to do to us? That means all of our food, energy prices, everything that'll impact yours and my life here in the United States will drastically change overnight. So depends on what goes on in our response to China going after Taiwan. Because we want to, the U.S. wants to protect Taiwan because of the chip manufacturing there. Because we don't do that here. We don't have any kind of manufacturing that's worth a damn here in the United States anymore. It's all in China or in Taiwan. So we don't want China to get their hands on TSMC and getting all the technology that's behind TSMC, which would be all the technology that we have in most of our guidance systems. Ain't that about a, you know what I'm saying? So economically, we're about, if China tries to go after Taiwan, that'll be a proposition that we would have to declare war. Or they're going to declare it we're going to be helping Taiwan. But in essence, we're fighting China. And basically, we'll have a war on two fronts. Where have we seen that in history? How many war fronts did Germany have before they collapsed? Yeah. Yeah, I did not hear about that, Rude. Oop, I have my business partner here. Hold on here. All right. Sorry about that, people. That was my business partner calling me up, going, crazy storms are coming out of Texas, coming up towards him in the facility. So, tornadoes, hail, all that stuff has been happening. Yay! Send me the link in Discord. Cool, cool. Love to have that link. Love it. So, as I was saying, we're coming into that point where, the energy is going to start spiking up on stuff really high. And and that's going to basically impact everything. High energy prices means that the goods you rely on in your store that are getting shipped around the country are going to go through the roof. When that happens, you're going to wish that you were sitting there and growing your own food. I suggest everybody to get some chickens. Five baby chicks. Get them going now. And 5 chickens will give you like 2.5 dozens worth of eggs every week. As long as they're egg layers. Like, it's been hailing where you're at too. Damn. Yeah. So, yeah, I get to be on the lookout for my facility now. I got to make sure everything is up and running. Hold on, people. I am opening up some stuff here so that I can monitor things. All right, got that up, and then my Jipayurigis. All right, cool. All right, cool. Now I got everything. It's like them and the chickens. You know it, man. Decentralize your food, dude. If everybody started growing their own food, the world would be a better place. I'm just saying. Grow gardens, not lawns. I don't care if you're in an apartment. You're in an apartment, grow your own herbs. You got windows. Put that sucker right in front of a window. And you can sit there and grow your own little, at least your own spices. I mean, everybody should be doing that. I'm not saying that you need to be completely off-grid, homesteading, and all that good stuff, right? But being more reliant on local, right? Even if, let's say you've got the chickens, your neighbor's got tomatoes, your other neighbor's got strawberry. You see how this goes. You get the whole neighborhood growing. And now your neighborhood, in case of the world kind of shitting itself, at least your neighborhood will always have food. Self-reliant. Potatoes you can grow in a bag of soil. Yes, sir. Oh, too funny. Too funny, too funny. That's a nasty looking storm, huh? Alright, now I'm gonna look. I'm going onto my phone to look. Let's see here. Go on to the weatherchannel.com. Oh yeah, that's a good little ripper that came up, huh? Blowing right out of Texas. Yep, it should be hitting him here very shortly, unfortunately. Like, I got cow, you got pig. I got chickens. I know the wife was talking about wanting a pig too. I could do it. You filed? Huh? Too funny. Hey, I might as well file too, man. They probably sold my data. My account's still there. It's there to a point. All right, back on topics here. So as energy prices start going up, guys, during the height of the pandemic, when we rose 14.7% in unemployment rates, unemployment insurance claims, we're at $2 million, 2 million people right now. A couple of weeks ago, it was at 2.1 million. I don't think that point one started finding any more work. I just think that that 100,000 people just simply gave up. These people don't want to work no more. It's like, why get a job if you're going to get degraded at work, have to work long hours, and at the end of the day, you still can't get ahead no matter what job you get. Now, I understand, you get an entry-level job and you're like, hey, look, it's an entry-level job. You're only going to make so much. I understand that argument. But when you're sitting there and you're looking at an assistant manager, and that assistant manager still can't afford to even have an apartment to himself and put food on his table, that's a problem. Where people who are going into higher up into the rankings cannot afford to live. So people are being disincentivized to be into the workforce. And those who choose to be in the workforce because they know that they need to be providing some kind of value to the world, they're not showing up on here at all. These are people who are going to be working under the table, cash jobs. This is another reason why they want to switch over to the CBDC, the central bank digital coin, communism coin. So this would stop you from paying your buddy for doing the brakes on your car. You did a great job, but now that you paid him, he gets instantaneously taxed upon payment. So that the government just goes, oh no, you transferred money, we take our cut, thank you. What's this for? It's basically what they're going to do. They're going to know that you paid for a pack of gum, and they're going to know that you paid the neighborhood kid to cut your lawn. These are going to be things that are going to be, absolutely the death of free enterprise. Absolutely. So, we're going to be seeing more push for this because they want to have that top-down control. They want to take the Japanese model. Japan and China. Japan and China both have top-down control over the citizens. Japan has the economic control. China has the people's control. You put both of those together and you own the means of all production. It doesn't matter if you're paying somebody under the table or not. The government's going to get paid. It is going to be legalized slavery of every man, woman, and child on the planet. Oh, you want to give your kid an allowance for doing chores around the house? Well, you also have to teach him what slavery is and how he just got robbed. And I don't see how this is going to be, how they can sit there and keep this aspect going. It'll be an interesting one, and it'll show people that how badly they need that sweet busy Bitcoin, guys. Yep, this is why we fight for Bitcoin, 100%. This is why, because when they introduced the CBDC coin, basically anybody that's in that system is 100% enslaved. They just don't realize it yet. Just remember that the cows would vote for the slaughterhouse guy because of the fact that he fed them today. This is going to be the people that run, beg, and plead for the new CBDC coin as they hyperinflate the dollar into oblivion. Or they just go, hey, we're just not going to use it. But it'll be interesting to see how that one rolls out, since Florida already has a CBDC ban. So I don't know how that's going to work out. That looks like national divorce, civil war, however you want to put it, guys. I'm just saying. It's like 50% tax. Yeah. Exactly. That is highway robbery. Absolutely highway robbery. It's like that, ladies and gentlemen, is proof of stake. Let's just be real about it. That's the difference between proof of stake and proof of work. Proof of work people created the money. They earned it. Proof of stake people took it from you. Yay, government. Yo, Bogey. It's like I'm live, me as well. Yo, what's up, my dude? What's up, Bogey? The Tech Shaman. What's up? Glad to have you here, my dude. And, it's like in talking about earlier with the banks blowing up, it's like we are wrapping up Day 2. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. I'm glad everything seemed to turn out well. It's like, glad to be here. Yo, that's right. That is right. It's like dead internet theory. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But as I was saying earlier, Bank of England is now considering the limitations on use of stable coins for payments. These banks are basically transferring around stable coins already. I don't see how they can sit there and say, oh, we need to sit there and limit this. This is the funniest thing. So the Bank of England believes that the regulators may have to enforce a limit of usage on stablecoins for payment. The central bank's deputy governor has highlighted the potential risk of rapid innovation in this sector. AKA, these things are a little bit more efficient than we are, boss. Can we stop it? I mean, I don't know what you guys read, but that's basically what I read there. That is, it is a direct replacement to the necessity of using us. You need to stop it now. And they recognize it. And I've been sitting there saying it for a few years. Like, these banks are either going to innovate and get on board with the crypto industry and become exchanges, or good luck with the irrelevance and the necessity of an outdated dinosaur. These banks have been using a legacy system and refuse to update. There is enough innovation in the crypto space in the whole. Not even just, the Bitcoin stuff is the nail in their coffin. But the entire crypto space, there is a coin that can do everything that the banks need to be done out there, better, faster, less friction, less hands involved, less fees on top of it. But that would kind of hurt their investors, well, wouldn't it? So I guarantee you their investors are basically sitting there pressuring the banks going, hey, look, this is getting a little bit out of hand here. You need to limit this. You need to do what you need to do, lobby whatever you need, and let's get this going. Because it is, quote unquote, a disruptive change from the stable coin could threaten financial stability. It's like, bro, they're already financially unstable, but that's on them. That has nothing to do with crypto space. They want to sit there and blame it on the crypto space. Want to know what they're seeing? They saw the meltdown and they watched people and jumped into Bitcoin. It's exactly what happened. They watched banks blow up and people panicked to Bitcoin, gold, and silver. But a lot of people jumped into Bitcoin. That's why they're so afraid. They're not afraid of the gold and silver. They manipulate that price. Psh. They can't fuck with the Bitcoin. And they know that a lot of people, they use the stable coins for their on and off ramps. Yeah, I saw that when the EU left. Exactly. Literally the name of the code. Yep. So they understand the innovation, but they cannot compete. And they know that if they can't figure out how to integrate, they're done. These legacy systems days are numbered, fellas. And we're watching it in real time. If they go to CBDCs, the banks are done. There's no necessity with a CBDC to have the banks. So the banks are basically on the precipice of they got to make a decision. Either be irrelevant and go out of business, or become relevant and get in the crypto finally. Forget the regulators. Just run it like you would any other trading desk. As long as you trade it out, just like any other trading desk would. Hey, does this pass the Howey test? Yeah. Don't touch it. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, it'll leave them with what? Bitcoin, Tether, and a few other stable coins. Realistically, in Litecoin. Overall, that's basically what you're going to be left with. And with the SEC not knowing how they're going to be attacking the whole crypto space, here's another big oof. Coinbase CEO could relocate from the U.S. if no regulatory clarity, because they're going after him. They've already slapped them with fines and stuff like that. Coinbase has revealed that the crypto exchange could relocate there if there's no regulatory clarity in the United States. Brian Armstrong said that the potential to be an important market for crypto. Coinbase was recently issued a Wells notice by the SEC, which is bringing them in, and they're going to get fined. They broke security laws. That's what the Wells notice is all about. All these exchanges have been breaking security. They've been basic, like the Coinbase Earn. That's what they're getting hit with. That is illegal to be offering to people in the United States. They just need Coinbase just needs to man up and be like, oh, we're just going to follow the rules and regulations that you are over in the traditional finance space. No, they think that because it's crypto and it's something new that we need new laws and regulations. No, not really. These old laws and regulations have been around, and it's basically just cut and dry, very simplistic. Yes, the terminology can be updated, but in whole, it was the original measuring stick that stopped the stock market from crashing here in the United States from the same stuff we suffer from in the crypto space. Scams, rug pulls, all that stuff was in the traditional investment sector in its early stages too. That's why all of these SEC rulings are here, was to stop the same wild, wild west. And nobody wants to enforce it. And now that it's being enforced, you're having people like Brian Armstrong crying because he's been illegally making offerings to people, and he's sitting here directly offering securities to the United States citizens. Now, what does this mean for you guys? If they move out of the United States, they are not going to be able to be used for onboarding or off-ramping cash in the United States. They will not have that legal front anymore. You'll be able to exchange in and out of Coinbase if you send it to a wallet, but you'll be blocked and banned like Binance does to the rest of their exchange. There is a U.S. exchange side of it, and then they've got their global side of it that unless you have a VPN, you can't use it. So, I mean, and that'll affect Bitcoin price globally, because there'll be a whole lot of people that will end up selling just to get so that they know that they can get their money. Or if they're smart enough, they're going to go to another exchange that's still located in the United States, like Gemini. I don't think the Winklevoss twins are going anywhere. But we'll see how the landscape of exchanges turns out after this year. I mean, the SEC, Gary Gensler is going after all of these exchanges, every last one of them. He's issued a bunch of Wells notices from the SEC, even though he's under scrutiny because now he's going full out. But he's trying to sit there and play little games and stuff like that, right? One of them, like right here with Gary Gensler, bam, dun, 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 was asked directly in Dodge's questions of whether Ethereum is a security. Man, he really did not want to answer that one. I have a feeling that he knows that Ethereum is a security, and he just doesn't want to publicly state it because he knows that he will get crucified publicly from the crypto sector. I wish to God he'd had the cojones to sit there and in front of these committee members and just going, yes, it is a security, right along with its proof of stake. He's already stated that the proof of stake was a security. One more step, Gary. Come on, good old Gary. One more step. Ethereum is a security. 100% is a security. Early investors, pre-mine, all that good stuff passes the Howey test. He just doesn't want to admit it. Very funny on this one. Gary Gensler addressed the House committee with the HFSC for the first time since October of 2021, which was before the collapse of the FTX and crypto-friendly banks, including Signature, Silicon Valley, and Silvergate. And he sat there and stated that crypto is what crashed the banks. Gensler did not want to give a clear answer to Congressman Patrick McHenry and the committee chair if Ether, the second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, is a security. All securities are commodities under the Commodities Exchange Act. It's that we are excluded commodities, but I would agree that securities cannot also be excluded commodities and included commodities. So, I mean, he just had like double talk. So, all securities are commodities. Okay. And that we are excluded commodities. So they're excluding commodities out of this, but would agree that a security cannot also be excluded commodity and an included economy. So that's the double talk right there. The excluded commodity would be the proof of stake. The included commodity is Ether, the token. So he's basically stated that he put the company on both sides. And you can't have that. And he stated that it cannot be both an included and an excluded commodity. If it's a commodity, it's a security. That means nobody in the United States is allowed to touch it. Gensler hinted on multiple occasions that he may view cryptocurrencies based on the proof of stake consensus mechanism, such as Ether, as securities. See, he's going after proof of stake. He believes that's a security because of the rate of expected return. Causes it to be a security, guys. Gensler publicly labeled Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency by market cap, as a commodity. That is not considered a security because it does not pass the Howey test. Gensler told HFSC that the SEC needs more resources and bodies to regulate crypto asset classes. So he's asking for more money to do his job. The same job that he's supposed to be doing with the legacy system. Just apply the same damn rules. And then Gensler also testified before a subcommittee on the financial service and general government and requested $2.4 billion in funding from Congress for the agency's operations, which included cryptocurrency crackdowns. Yep. And then, couple little quick ones real quick here. Intel will be stopped manufacturing ASIC chips for miners, guys. They are shutting down that part of their fabrication in order to save some money. As we all know, inflation, it hits everybody. Intel's feeling this too, especially since they're now have AMD really hitting up on their coattails with competition. and they're also got their GPU division that they're trying to launch. So they're trying to stay into the computer realm, doing computer. They're doing computers, FPGAs, GPUs, all these other different chipsets. So they're going to be shutting down the manufacturing for the ASIC chips. So they're going to be able to open up that area for manufacturing that's going to steadily make income versus, the income's great today on making ASIC chips. Bitcoin crashes in a week, and now people are only willing to pay, a fraction of what those chips were worth to them doing it. So I'm thinking that the highs and lows of the mining sector just kind of kicked them in the cojones a little bit. And they're like, you know what? We need, as a business, I understand sitting there selling the shovels and pickaxes is the most profitable in that industry, but we need to make sure that we can survive long term. So, I mean, it's probably a smart move on their aspects if they're not making enough return on these things. But they're not going to be doing it right away. So it'll be April of next year that they're going to be shutting down for their block scale 1000 series ASICs. Again, they're going to be ending shipping right around April of next year. It said that the move was aimed at a strategic of prioritizing the manufacturing of certain chips to outside customers, cutting overall costs. So if it's costing them, I'm going to throw an arbitrary number out, right? Let's say it cost them $5 to manufacture, and that's what they're, it's like, let's say it cost them $3 to manufacture. They're selling it for $5 a chip, right? Stupid numbers, right? And now, because mining is down so far, now, and the chips are not as efficient, now they're only willing to pay $2.50. So now they're losing 50 cents per chip that they manufacture, and they've already agreed upon to doing the manufacturing on this. So I just see them just going, hey, we're shutting this down. We're going to put this over here instead, and we're going to make more money. And from a business standpoint, that it makes the most sense. I would do the same thing if I was in Intel's shoes. I actually have no hard feeling over it. I wish there was more ASIC chip manufacturers, and it sucks that we're going to lose one, because it will cause the other ASIC manufacturers' devices to be a little more expensive because there's more people looking for more equipment. And there's not as many people to be divvying up everything. So if you guys are looking for ASICs, once they come next year, it might start getting a little bit more expensive once they're done. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's not going to happen right away, guys. So you're still going to be able to get cheap Bitcoin ASICs. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. And then one last thing. This one, I like to leave everything on a positive note and have not be all doom and gloom and look at the market and going, oh my God, everything's horrible. World's burning around me. Well, there's this. Trump drops more NFTs ahead of presidential run. Meta opens up to teens and more. So Trump's NFT collection has been plummeting more than 60% following the latest launch, which comes ahead of the 2024 presidential bid. I think it's hilarious. So he's going to be doing another drop of NFTs to come. Looking at $100 a piece again. So we'll see how this one goes. I mean, I know people bought it and it sold out quick. I expect it to be like the last time, where there's probably some of them, they're like Easter eggs. You might be able to win a lunch with Donald Trump, a golf game with him, something, I'm sure he's going to have some Easter eggs in this like he did the last time. It would make the most sense. And if he's sitting there just trying to, and it's an easy way for him to sit there and generate, and maybe another $100,000. If everybody's sitting there doing another $99 buy-in of the NFTs. So he's like, I could have raised the price much higher, but I believe it still would have sold well, but with a lot more money coming to me. But I didn't choose to do so. So I'll be giving so I will be giving no nice guy credit. Whatever. But I see that I would expect almost another big buy-in of this. I see people. I could see a bunch of people FOMOing in, a bunch of people that weren't able to buy it the last time. They're going to try to buy it this time. If you're one of those people, more power to you. To me, it's you're basically trying to go after an Easter egg. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. If you guys are interested in that stuff, let me know. Let me know if you're interested in that. In President Trump's NFTs. Are you guys going to get one? Drop a comment in the chat, guys, if you're going to get one. Or are you going to try? Are you interested in that stuff, or you're like a hard pass? To me, I'll sit back. It'll be a hard pass for me, but whatever. Like, no. Our crypto mining's like, nah, I'm good on that. I am good on that. I know, I'm pretty good on that stuff too. I will sit back and watch other people waste their $100 on it. To me, that's $100 worth of Bitcoin throwing down the drain. Nah, I'm good about that. Neither have I, Ark. I am right there with you, my dude. 100%. 100%. So, does anybody have any other comments or questions before I head up out of here? Otherwise, I'm gonna get up out of here. I can hear my chickens getting a little loud, so I got to see what's going on with them. They're just like, sounds like one of them's getting picked on, or they're starting to talk to the cat. Oh, that's probably what it is. You're freaking out over the cat. Oh, okay. How are the chicken nuggets? They getting big, guys. They getting huge. Oh God, good question, Art. Good question. I talked to a few other people. Nobody else had any other issues with it. So, what I'm thinking is that when Hive did an update, it like updated and all of my rigs all of a sudden had auto fan settings turned on also. So all the auto fan settings were on. I never turned that on. And then two of my rigs were full tilt on power. So what I'm thinking in between something on their end that changed my auto fan settings, and then had to have been like a stupid update that they pushed through, and the drivers had to have failed. I have no idea, because I had to even when I updated the rig, it updated and then started going full tilt again. I had to reboot the rig in order to get it to finally have the power down. Because usually I don't run those kingpins above, like, God, even when I was mining Ethereum, they never got above like 300 watts ever. Right now they're running at 200 watts. I just so happen to be glancing because the kingpins have a little OLED screen on there, and the OLED screen will tell me wattage. And I looked at it, it was like 425 watts. I'm like, oh my God, code red. I'm like, no wonder why my room was so warm. No kidding. Thank God that the kingpins were all water blocked. And my other 3090 XC3, I've got a Delta fan sitting on the back of it, and it's got the copper mods already in there. So this thing was wicking heat out real fast, but it was definitely thermal throttling. But yeah, I saw that, looked at the entire farm after that. What are you guys doing over there? Yeah, I wish I could tell you what actually happened with my rigs this morning. But thankfully, I caught it. and it changed what I was going to be doing my my little short on. I was not expecting to do the short on that one. I was just going to sit there and talk about how much wattage everything was going to use. I just so happened to look at it, and I was like, oh my lord, that is more wattage than it's supposed to be using. Totally. No, it was only on 2 rigs, but all of them had all the auto fans were turned on all of a sudden. And I've never used auto fans. So I had to, and I'm like looking at other rigs that were hot. Why? Because they were running at 30% fan. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Hive? That's the first time I've ever had a problem with Hive. Just to note that one. First time I've been using them since 2018. This is the first issue I've ever had like that. How long do I... I could tell you. Hold on here. I can tell you that. So from 2 o'clock this morning, and I saw that at 2:30. So 12 hours it was running like that. Oh yeah. I've got a bunch of 1200 watt power supplies running all of that. And the whole everything on there is running 240 volt. So I've got all the amperage. But yeah, it was running like that for 12 hours. That was like the craziest thing ever. I know, that was like, hey, we stress test you, and go. For sure, for sure. Thank God a lot of that stuff, like my 3090 EVGA XC3, which is the base model 3090, has a Delta fan blowing on the back side of it, 3 good fans on the front side, and it's copper mounted. So it's like, oh my God. Thank God. Nothing got destroyed. It probably took a little life off of it, but nothing's bad. We're good. It's like I hate to see a 12-hour electric bill for that. I mean, what, you're looking at 12... That rig was pulling around 3,000 watts by itself. I'm just saying, bro. I hate to see the 12-hour electric bill. They're like, hey, he's back on. I used to be running. Good God. I ran 70 GPUs out of this house at one point in time. It's like, that's insane. I know. I didn't even, like, thank God. I just so happened to freaking look at it. I was just thinking it was warm outside. I'm like, oh God, it must be a little warm outside. It's a little hot inside the mining room. I had the windows open. Till I saw that, and I'm like, oh, no wonder why. Like, my whole farm is only pulling like 1,500 watts on Caspa. Oh, I pull a ton of wattage. I've got almost 100 GPUs and a bunch of ASICs. Oh, hell no. Well, I mean, if you add up all the stuff, I mean, you're almost paying that. But no. It's like I've got a whole facility. out in Oklahoma where I do hosting. So, Ark, I don't know if you're interested. I know, shameless shill here. We're at the end of the show anyway. Me and my business partner, Crypto Mikkel, we both are co-owners of the Family Mine LLC, and basically run it out of Oklahoma. And it's a hosting facility. So if you're looking to have to be able to grow beyond where you can handle at your house, we have a hosting facility that you might be able to take advantage of. I would be charging 11 and about 11 and a half cents per kilowatt hour. So nothing crazy. Definitely under the market average for hosting facilities. Nice. Amazing, Ark. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm like, me and my buddy, we've set this facility up because we wanted to help out people like yourself. Because like, if I can get everybody mining in one spot, basically we help each other out. You know, it's like you mine your own wallet. You control your stuff. We run the gear in a nice clean facility with proper cooling. I mean, amazing stuff. And then, yeah, once you run out of plug outlets, we got you. So, with that being said, everybody, thank you everybody for being here. Definitely smash that lizardy like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff, guys. Thank you everybody for being here. You know, it's like you guys are the reason why I do this each and every day. Certainly, if you are new here, if you haven't done so, Ark, I do have links down below. Oh, you got the FAs going. Oh, snappers. That means you know what's up already. So, links down below. Got the Family Mind Discord. Affiliation with DCA Adventure, of course. And and if you wanted to, you can also join the Patreon if you're wanting to expand up into it. You get some VIP access to the facility if you get in there now, fellas. So anybody that's wanting to take advantage of it sooner than later, certainly get into the Patreon, get into the pseudo hasher tier so that you can get your VIP access to the facility, guys. If you're not and you're going to be holding off, certainly join the Discord. Links down below, guys. It's like I kind of think of making some mining and crypto videos yourself. Nice. The way that I suggest it to people, don't worry about making content. Document what you are doing. Don't worry about anybody watching your videos. Just be like, hey, like you make it as you're working on a rig, set a camera up and just explain what you're doing so that if you ever have to go back to it, you've got a point of reference to remember what you did wrong or what you did right. And that's basically how I started a lot of my channel up in the very early days. Just more documentation. Document. And now it's like I'm at that point where it's, you know, since 2018, just a lot of research, a lot of studying. Now I'm just like, here's my knowledge to all of you FA people. And with that being said, everybody drop some FAs in the Chizity chat because you guys are rated F for freaking awesome. Yo. Oh, snap. Small engines. Yes. I don't play with small engines per se. Hold on here. Let's see. rebuilding computer. I rebuild cars and stuff too. So, fellow mechanic, my dude. Love to have you. Glad to have you around. It's a 1976 Nova SS Tribute. It's not a real SS, but it's a nice car. It's fast. I'm a car junkie. So thank you everybody for being here. All that good stuff. Definitely like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and peace out. Stay savage. I'll see you guys on the next one. And may your watts be low and your hash be high. Peace. It's like I wrench on my own vehicles when I need it. Of course, that's the way to do it. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Yo. And in the morning when I do my workouts. Peace.